갚아도 되지?
야, 그 핫팩은 안 갚아도 되는데. 야, 이건 좀 알자.
Taliyah, you know we gotta go shoot the next bestseller. You up there watching these K-dramas again?
Yes.
Oh, every time I bring you to the office, you always watch.
Sit. Look at this.
You know, look at. I never watched these K-dramas with you. Taliyah,
So
we gotta
I
go.
don't care. Sit down and watch. I'm not leaving.
They ended up together.
I know, right?
Oh my goodness. Okay, you were right. K-dramas, they do serve a purpose. But you better not tell anybody, nobody I watch the K-drama.
Ooh, shit.
Okay, welcome back to this week's bestsellers list. And I'm done crying, but this countdown might get a little emotional for me since I'm counting down my top 10 chick flicks of all time. And it's kicking off my series that I'm doing for the next 4 weeks of Let's Go Out to the Movies. Because, as you can see, we can't. With movie theaters being closed across the country, it's time to reminisce on times that we could go to a movie theater and sit and watch some films. And believe it or not, I would actually go watch a chick flick. So I'm about to count down my top 10 and drop in some knowledge on a few chick flicks that I didn't know were chick flicks. So let's get into the countdown.
Just say
Okay, coming in at number 10 this week is Love and Basketball. This is one of my mom's favorite movies of all time. I thought my mom would never love a sports movie, but they found a way to make her enjoy it. They made it about a girl and finding love. So it tells you the story of a young girl coming up playing basketball, and her next door neighbor, which is a guy, he's playing basketball. They grow up together. She starts to like him, crush on him. They both go to college together, break up, get together. Then they go pro, break up, get together. Then the big point of the movie is when she challenged him for his heart at a game of basketball. She wins, she gets him. If he wins, he gets to go and do whatever he wants. So she started winning. She's trying to challenge him, and he just comes back and beat her. And looks down at her and just say, hey, I love you too. That sums up Love and Basketball. That's number 10.
Just say
Okay, coming in at number 9 this week, An Officer and a Gentleman. Who doesn't remember the iconic ending when Richard Gere's character, Mayo, is carrying, I think it's Deborah Winger's character, and after he picked her up at her factory that she was working at, and then the song started playing, love lift us up where we belong. But before we got to that point, he had to become a man, come of age through being in the military, and Lou Gossett Jr. character just drills him and beats the crap out of him and makes him a better man, and he just falls in love with an unlikely lady, and then it has that beautiful iconic ending. And that's my best way of trying to sum up An Officer and a Gentleman.
Just say
Okay, coming in at number 8 this week, we're gonna get a little presidential. Dave. Now, I guess what makes this a chick flick is, and the plot of this movie is a nice guy who runs for local office trying to make a change, happens to look a lot like the president of the United States at the time. The president has this massive stroke, but they had to keep the country going, so they hire and recruit this guy to replace the president and be the new president. The first lady could tell it's a difference because she knows her man, and she starts to fall in love with this new guy. So you end up rooting for them to get together and become a couple. And I think that what makes it a chick flick and a very sweet story. And it's just an entertaining movie. It's a great job done by Kevin Kline throughout this movie, playing both of the characters. And I really did enjoy Dave, and that comes in at number 8.
Just say
Okay, coming in at number 7 this week. A lot of y'all might have to look this one up. Teen Witch. Came out in 1989. It's about a young girl who's unpopular at school, who's a geek and a nerd, and she finds out on her 16th birthday that she has magical powers. She's a witch, and she basically learns a spell to make herself beautiful. Now, I'll let you in on a little secret. All she had to do was take off her glasses and let down her hair. Typical 80s movie. But throughout this movie, she ends up getting the popular guy that she always fun for, but she found out there's more layers to him than just being a hunk and an athlete. So it's a typical teen chick flick, And I ain't gonna lie, I still, once in a while you can catch me singing, I want to be the most popular girl. We'll cut it off right there.
Just saying.
Okay, coming in at number 6 this week, Ghost. It's a movie that will make you feel alive, especially with the performance of Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg. But this was just a great movie, very entertaining and enjoyable. And I love the subplots that went along with the main plot, the difference between good and evil. And what just makes it a chick flick is a guy coming back from the dead to get justice and protect the woman he loves. Now, anybody can remember the scene where the penny is being pressed up on against the door and ditto. That was their special way of saying I love you to one another. So Ghost, and yeah, we all know when they made pottery together. I don't want to get into all of that. Typical chick flick stuff. But a guy can really enjoy this movie. Got a couple good action scenes in it. So number 6 is Ghost. And now we're going to take a break from the countdown, and we're about to leave Bartlett and head out to Millington, Tennessee to talk to Miss Judy Perret about what's a real chick flick. And she's going to break down to us that a chick flick is not easy to define. So let's head out to Millington. It's Thomas Sellers back at the midway point of another bestsellers list. Now here with Judy Perret and store manager here at Allison's Alcove. And if you're wondering about the pink flamingos, it's their logo, it's their mascot. But I decided, since I was making the rounds and I've been watching movies lately and I've been inundating myself with chick flicks, I was like, let me talk to a lady about chick flicks. So I ran into you and I decided, Judy, you'd be a perfect person to talk to because you don't like chick flicks like that, correct?
Not your typical stereo chick flick, no.
Okay, so what are some of your favorite movies? What makes you cry?
What makes me cry?
Yeah.
Well, We Were Soldiers movie actually did make me cry probably more than a lot of other movies.
I see you getting touched by thinking about it right now because you have a son who's in Afghanistan at the moment.
I do have a son who's in Afghanistan at the moment, but that movie came out long before he went in. Just the thought of that particular movie to me showed the woman's side because it focused on the wife at home raising. So it picks up from the wife's perspective of it. It's the wife at home who's raising the children, and it's her husband who's gone off to war, and it shows all the women on base, how they gather and how they come together. Where can you get your laundry done? Because during that time frame, they're still dealing with equal rights, and not everybody can go to the same laundromat. So it shows different races, but all women coming together. Their men are out doing the same job, and when those letters come in, the postman doesn't know who to deliver them to. Your husband's passed, your son's passed. So the women picked it up, and the women delivered those letters.
Wow.
So it was very emotional for me because that's exactly how it is. Whether that was the woman's side of it, and her heart felt, and yet she was strong while her husband was away. She was still carrying on her duties, and so that was We Were Soldiers was my favorite chick flick.
Wow, and that's not your typical chick flick. Guy finds girl, guy's stupid, and he has to win girl back. All those kind of elements.
No.
You also describe the movie like Rocky as a chick flick.
I love Rocky because he gets his inspiration. Yes, he's the fighter and he's the muscle, and even though they make Rocky sound going, yo,
Adrian.
Not so educated, and he puts off that, but his inspiration and his heart is with Adrian. And at the end of it all, it's yo, Adrian. It's all about the love of his wife. And
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, all of it. And so Rocky was another good movie for me.
So you telling a bunch of men for the last 40-something years, we like to chick flick?
Yeah.
Wow, that's breaking news right there. Now, that's, like you said, stereotype. So what is the stereotypical chick flick that
Everybody, I think, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to say everybody, but a lot of people think still Magnolias. I get it, but no. You know, I like Rudy, that football story.
Yeah. Now, later on in this video, Still Magnolias will come up. Pay no attention to what she's saying. But Rudy, okay, but yeah, Rudy is a guy's emotional type movie, and I guess it reaches a lot of ladies as well.
It does, because being a mother, you know, whose son might not be the tallest or the strongest or whatever, his heart was in it.
Seeing him chase his dream and fight for it.
Yes, and his family was behind him, and you know, he doesn't give up, and that was a good chick flick for me.
So,
because it was inspiration. It showed his strength being the little man, and the women sometimes get looked at as the weaker end, but we've got very strong women too.
yes, y'all swing comes in a different way.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, and I like that.
Well, Miss Judy, I think what we sat here and learned today is that for men, once we join our lady on the couch to watch a Dirty Dancing, a Still Magnolias, or Love and Basketball, and we might cry with her at the end or sit through the whole thing. It's not necessarily a chick flick, guys can relate to it too, but if we're on the couch watching Rocky or Creed or Rudy, or We Are Soldiers, and our lady joins us and she sticks through the whole movie and cry a little bit, that's just not a guy movie anymore.
No.
We should have things in common.
No, because I cried quite a bit.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we learned here today that we do have a lot in common. And speaking of having things in common, we're sitting here in Allison's alcove where you can find anything that you desire in the world.
Yes.
So before we jump into the rest of my countdown, quick promotion. Y'all just moved into this beautiful new location.
Yes.
Give a quick promotion.
So yes, we are an antique restore consignment shop. We also have a boutique section and a furniture section, and we are at 8323 Highway 51 in Millington, and we have got everything that you're looking for flowers fresh to art. We do like to promote our local artists, and we display our local artists very proudly. And we've got that antique thing that you saw that Grandma had, or that little rusty tin can that's underneath the basement that nobody knew about. That's worth a lot too.
And they had the man cave in the sports section here too as well.
We do have a man cave.
Something for the guys too.
And a sports section, and I got stuff in the sports section too.
Yeah, I'm finna go check that out and then get back to the rest of my countdown. But Judy, we appreciate you taking the moment with us. Catch you back on the other end.
Just saying.
Okay, so we're back at number 5 this week in our countdown, Overboard. And this is a 1987 classic, not the new one that came out recently, with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. But basically this rich woman, stuck-up broad, hires a carpenter to work on her yacht. She fires him. She wouldn't pay him for his work, so he's determined to get his paycheck back and everything because this woman did him wrong. She falls off her yacht one night and loses her memory. So he comes up with a clever idea to go claim this woman so he can put her to work, so he can be compensated. It works. He picks her up and got her working. She raises his boys, but just what happens? They started falling in love with each other, started to connect, and she becomes a better person. Now, the iconic scene in this movie is at the end when both parties are swimming towards one another. Now, you pay close attention. Kurt Russell is doing more of the swimming than Goldie Hawn, and they embrace in the water because he has the woman he loves. So that's number 5, Overboard.
Just saying.
Coming in at number 4 this week, Fools Rush In. Okay, confession time. The reason why I watched this movie, I was a teenager and Salma Hayek was in it, and I had a crush on her. So anything she was in, I was gonna watch over and over again because how beautiful she was. But I really did enjoy the plot of how a Mexican-American woman got together with a yuppie boy from New York and how they brought their worlds together out on the West Coast. They did rush into a marriage and they ended up having a kid and all that kind of stuff. And they had to find out how much they loved each other by being together already. So it was a good cautionary tale, but also it had Salma Hayek in it. And so that's why it ranks so high. And if this movie came on right now, I'll watch it again because she's so beautiful. But that's number 4, Fools Rush In.
Just saying.
Okay, we're back with number 3. The iconic chick flick, Dirty Dancing, comes in at number 3. Yes, it's like, once again, Patrick Swayze appears on the countdown. Jennifer Grey as Baby. Nobody puts Baby in a corner. That's your iconic scene, your iconic line. And also, they're in the lake. She's practicing. Can he hold her up? And all that good stuff. So when they nailed it at the big recital, everybody just crying or you're just cheering because it's such a great, passionate moment. So I do have a couple questions about Dirty Dancing. How old was Johnny? And how old was Baby? And do we need to get the authorities involved to question what was going on between this couple? I'm just throwing that out there. I don't want to ruin it for you ladies out there, but stop and think about it while you think about my number 3, Dirty Dancing.
Giselle.
Okay, coming in number 2 this week, another movie you might have to look up, Just One of the Guys. This is a 1985 classic where it's close to my heart because it's about a young lady who wanted to be a journalist. And she thought she was going to win this high school writing contest, but she lost. She thought it because she was a girl. Everybody was way more sexist back then in 1985. So she came up with this clever idea to make herself a boy and then submit the same article. Her name is Terry, so the transition was easy for her. She switched schools, goes over there, lives her life as a boy, gets ready to submit this big old article, but she didn't plan on falling in love with her best friend, Rick. So it looks kind of awkward with 2 guys walking down the street and they're starting to fall in love with each other. Go figure. So at the big prom, at the end of the school year, she literally reveals herself to him and he's like, whoa, I feel confused. And he does come to claim his love for her because I guess he started to feel a special connection. So this movie makes you ask yourself a lot of questions, but it does have a lot of 80s hijinks. It makes you laugh, but it's a good typical chick flick too, so that's why it comes in at number 2.
Giselle.
So coming in at number 1 this week, it should be number 1 on everybody's list for chick flicks. Still Magnolias. Great cast. Oh, Weezer. Yeah, just hearing the name Weezer makes me laugh now. Julia Roberts, Sally Fields, Olivia Dukakis. Oh, everybody did a great job in this movie, bringing this story together. You had young and old. You had your elements of the husbands, the sons, and all that kind of stuff. But who didn't cry when the young man walked in and found his wife lying on the ground because her diabetes and everything just overcame her? And then Sally Field and that iconic scene in the cemetery, hit Weezer, hit Weezer. It made you cry, made you laugh. It's just a great roller coaster of emotions in the movie Still Magnolias. And that is a definition of a chick flick. And that concludes our countdown for this week as we go out to the movies, and look forward to next week where we'll go back to the movies and we'll hit up another genre. See you then.